Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Courtney, Mike, Sarah, how is everyone doing? Get Ashby over. What's
I
happening, babe?
got you there, bud.
Yeah, I got you.
Yes, sir.
You got to turn your camera on yet. There you are. Look at you.
What's happening, brother?
Oh, man. Lots.
Lots. I fucking like the sound of that.
Lots, man. Today was a good day. Today, today was one of those days that, like, stuff started opening up and it's like, okay. Like, you and I were texting earlier. And we kind of had a conversation, but then this afternoon it's just started to open up more and more and more. And you know where it's coming from? Community.
Man, like I put this in a post earlier today just in my stories. Like I'm really starting to get taken back by this community. I didn't expect it. I know that we got a group of wicked people here. You look fresh, Scott, Courtney says, and I couldn't agree more, man. You look hot today. But
I think
this
the same. I'm wearing the same hoodie. I didn't do anything with my hair.
I don't know if it's just a clean shave or what it is, but man,
Either way, I appreciate the love, people. I do. But you know what we got to do, right?
I got an
We got to
idea
get
what
the
we got to do.
poll.
Yes.
We got to get the
I was
poll going.
I was just gonna say, get that goddamn poll going. What's the poll here today? Let me have a look.
Well, hold on. I gotta give some background on the poll before we announce the poll. Okay?
Okay.
So, like I said, community. I'm starting to see just how powerful it is. I think our updates can be really fast tonight because we've got a topic we're going to dive into, and it's going to be very hard to get all the way through it. So, hopefully, people like the energy and the pace we're going to go with today. Thank you very much, Jenna. We already reached our first goal there. Smash those likes because we got to get over 1,000 before we get moving here, and there's a lot of ground to cover tonight. So, going back to community, Ashby, I decided earlier on in the day I was going to post in the community. Here's two topics we can talk about. We can go into part two of personal branding and lead off from where we were last night. And this purely just popped into my head because it's kind of been my journey. But what I said? How to start a business in less than a month from idea to implementation. And overwhelmingly, the vote was for the latter, not the former. So we're going with how to start a business in less than 30 days from idea to implementation. And
Okay.
honestly,
No,
we can probably do it quicker than that.
well, we in picking those two topics, it was pretty difficult because I was split down the middle. I really enjoyed the conversation that we had in here yesterday, and I think a lot of people took away something from the branding conversation that we had. So, like I would have been more than happy to dig deeper into that too. But at the same time, I think we're all hungry. All this hustle is going to pay off. I think with the group that we end up in here, when everybody truly puts their heads together, like there's just something that happens, you know.
I
Um,
completely agree.
and I'll be the first to admit that I sure as fuck don't have everything figured out. I've gained a lot of knowledge in the last little while, but I'm always here to learn more, right? Like,
Let, let's do it. Let's do it. Get on the poll. We've got less than 3 minutes to answer your the poll. Hey Sarah, hey Britt. You guys are gonna notice I'm gonna be a lot more high tempo tonight because we've got a lot of room to cover today, a lot of ground to cover. Courtney, I have been tell you I've been thinking about branding all day today. Awesome. You know what, Courtney? Side note, I had a full like fun personal branding presentation pulled together and everything, but the community voted. The community voted. So we'll do it tomorrow, I promise. Was just gonna ask where Ashby is. You look fresh, Scott. Thank you. It's your energy, Scott. Thank you. We're getting some love today.
you do have a good energy about you today. Like, I could tell that you are feeling it. This community is rocking, man.
I'm jacked up. Let's roll. Heather says, yo, yo, sent my first email out today with VSL. Nice work, Microgreens Mike.
Microgreens Mike is just crushing it, man. I love it. I jumped on a quick live that he was doing today. I didn't have a pile of time because the kids were a handful, but man, I like what you're doing, Mike.
Yeah, he's awesome. We had a nice little chat there for a little bit today. Okay, so I'm gonna just rush right into the update. Today was a lot of work, but I wouldn't say I gained much ground. Like if there was a roadmap, I wouldn't say I got from here all the way to here. It was kind of like a here, but every action I took was pretty time consuming. And then I wanted to spend some time to really feel good about coming into tonight. So I did that. But
hey, let me reiterate what you were at me yesterday for, that a win this big or this big, it's a fucking W, but take it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. Thank you. Thank you, Ashby, for
You're
reminding me
welcome.
to take that win.
You bet.
Okay, so the couple of things I did do though is I'm really starting to put some effort into the community. So for anyone that hasn't already, go to my profile, click my link. I do have an active link on my page now. So click that and it'll take you to the page to ask to be added to the community. It's free. That's where I'm going to be doing most of my work in there. I'm going to be posting the replays of these live casts in there. I'm going to be engaging with people before the live casts wherever I can to get feedback so that we're even more prepared to offer you guys as much value as we possibly can when we come here every evening.
Can I say one thing?
Absolutely.
I know you get upset when I kind of pump your tires a little bit. I know it's not always what you want to hear, but I jumped on your community. I told you I was going to be the first one, and actually Jenna beat me to the punch. But your community, I know this is just the start, right? Like, we're all going to start somewhere, and I love that. But like, I got right into your emails, and like, you are doing a fucking job, sir, like in a very short period of time.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate
You're welcome. Like, it actually fires me up. Like, I feel like it was just reiterating the fact that like I feel like I'm on track.
Well, let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Okay, so where are we? I think there. Let's fucking do it. Yep. So exciting, Scott. Sign me up. I'll sign myself up. Yeah, exactly. Jenna says she's sort of a fast boy, so she's there. I agree. Yeah, I like how the group already feels. Yeah, me too. It's awesome.
It's that energy. I said it on there, and I'll say it 100 times. I don't give a shit whether you want to hear it or not, Scott. It is contagious. There's just a fucking vibe in there, and it's only gonna just keep going, right?
Well, I very much appreciate that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
and I'm just saying it because Jenna said it. I'm piggybacking on that for sure. Like,
Well, I love you guys. I'm loving you guys more and more every day. So,
oh, are you green screening?
Oh,
Shit,
yeah.
man. You just keep stepping it up.
Upgrade.
Shit.
Oh yeah. See right here? Join the free community. Go to my link in my bio. See? Look at that shit.
Hey? Yeah, join the party there, because I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I got a vision where this is going.
That's right. Okay. So Mel's driving, so let's let her focus on driving. We won't hold it against you. The vibes are infectious around here. That's from Sarah, not to be
Okay,
mistaken with Sierra. Okay.
definitely not Sierra. Sarah,
Yep.
we had a little exchange in some comments today, and you got a vibe about you too, Sarah. I appreciate how much you've been supporting us, and I look forward to like more and more returning the favor because I jumped on your account and I dig your message. You got a good vibe.
She's awesome. She's one of the
She
first
is
people
awesome.
I really started connecting with when I joined TikTok, and she's been awesome. Good.
I
Speak of
can see
good
why.
energy, it's her.
Yeah.
Okay, the last thing I did today, well, not the last thing, I did a bunch of other smaller things, but I've really started to put some effort into building out the YouTube too. I think I've got 4 or 5 shorts up there now. I'm uploaded all the live cast replays. The problem with that is it takes forever. I think it's still not done uploading, and I've been doing it for probably 5 hours today.
Yeah, so these they're large files, hey. Like one thing I've learned not being an IT guy is like shit, I need some storage space, you know?
But you know what? Like Microgreens Mike is the one that I'm like listening to him and the success he's having on YouTube. I'm like, I gotta go there. Like I gotta go there. I've spent some time in YouTube before. I understand that environment. I just need to actually put some time into it.
For sure. Yeah, and I think that comes with anything, right? Like when it's new and foreign to you. Hey, Irina, it's good to see you.
Great. Yeah.
She's another one like not being in a space a terribly long time, but she's just got this. She just flows, man.
Good
Irina,
energy.
I dig what you're doing.
Good energy.
Um, yeah.
Um,
So
we better make some ground here, or we're not gonna get all the way through this, okay?
okay. Yeah.
Okay, I will do the monitoring of the comments because I know how much you hate that, but
Yes.
we'll get there. But we need one more thing from everyone. We need everyone smashing that screen. Let's get the likes up. Let's see if we can make this a popular live so other people can find us and join this incredible growing community. Um, okay, like I said, for anyone that's just joining now, I put it out in my community. We asked what we wanted to talk about tonight. This was the topic that everyone chose. Last night we talked about personal branding, part one. I have part two ready to go, but this was the vote. So if you guys want personal branding part two tomorrow, you guys gotta get in my bio, click the link, join the free community, and vote tomorrow so that we can do part two of personal branding. But here is the 8 steps. And before we jump into the 8 steps, I always like to start with a quote because I think it's just kind of helps kind of set the tone. And so for this one, the quote that I found was from the founder or co-founder of LinkedIn, who famously said, "An entrepreneur is someone who jumps off a cliff and builds a plane on the way down." Now, I love that quote because I think it's a really good visual of what an entrepreneur is. But don't worry because these all add up to give you a parachute. So we're going to run through them today. And why don't we kick things off? I'm going to toss it to my man Ashby to talk about the first step, which is select a niche.
Okay, well, listen, I like that quote because that's the God honest truth. I felt like I was fucking crazy getting into this, and I really did wonder, like, is starting a business in a month actually possible? So, I want to share a little bit about my journey, and I came into this. I had seen a lot of digital and affiliate marketers that were making ridiculous amounts of money and claims, and as I got a little deeper in, I saw like this isn't a scam. This is actually like a really lucrative opportunity and the overhead is low. So this is something that I can put together. I mean, I'm not Floyd Mayweather laying in my bed just throwing money around. So I thought like this is realistic. So I started down a health and wealth path where two things that I'm extremely passionate about, and I wanted to go on and personally do a transformation in myself, mentally, physically. I got some weight to lose. I got a pile of mental health tools that I've been implementing in my life as well. So, anyways, I kind of I took the roadmap and I thought that course was, in my opinion, like a college level course. So I took a lot away from it, and I also did not want to be, and I say this with no disrespect to anybody, I wanted to create a long-term business, very sustainable business, that I can take to my grave. Like I really truly, I didn't want to look at like an overnight success. I didn't want to look for that instant gratification and then fall on my face in 6 months. So I really struggled to find that. So I I am gonna go down that road, and that's why I kind of wanted to share this. Is I plan on implementing that. It's just not going to be where I start off. So I had a coaching call, and my coach really, he has a way of dumbing things down for me to where it was just like it simple, simple. I was the king, and I'm sure that a lot of people can relate, but I was overthinking the living shit out of this. And I hit that wall where I was like, how do I implement actually everything that I learned? Because I felt confident in my skills. I just didn't know how to actually take it that one step further. So I kind of went ahead and sort of went through the top 5 pain points when it comes to picking your niche. And I'm going to keep this as brief as I can because, again, this is something that I plan on sort of. My business is going to be based around selecting your niche. So this is something I could go on for fucking days. And honestly, going back 2 weeks, I didn't really know a whole lot about it. And now I'm just like, I got this fucking buzz on, and I get real loud and real crazy. So bear with me. But the first pain point was that overwhelm in choosing your niche. And when my coach dumbed this down for me, what he said is like the word expert, I would really like to see everybody try to take that out of your dialogue, because I think that's an overwhelming word. So being a classic overthinker, I really needed to simplify things. And he put it to me in a sense that, like, he said, Ashby, I'm sitting here telling you right now, if I wanted to be a fucking cucumber farmer, I could take 1 week of my life, and I'm telling you right now, I've never been so sure about anything in my fucking life, that if I put in the work for 7 to 10 days, I'm gonna know more about cucumber farming than any one of you motherfuckers. I promise you that. This shit is not rocket science. We have the tools, we have the resources, and when he said that, I was like, okay, I like where you're going with this. And then I started to kind of really dig into that. So I did start with all the practices of just, writing things down. And even that was tough for me, because as a parent, I really didn't ever, and I didn't realize this until I went through this exercise, but it's probably been 10 or 12 years since I really truly asked myself, like, what I'm passionate about, what I enjoy doing. And so I did kind of come up with a list of 4. I was going for a list of 5. And it turned out that nothing on that list is what I wanted to pursue. And the reason for that is because I found, as I went through this process, I got like super passionate about just, I walked up to that wall of like, where do I take this? I put on my shit kickers and I booted it the fuck down, and it was the best feeling ever. And I was like, I really want to take this and allow some others to experience it, because I feel like there's a few of us that have hit that wall. And the second pain point was a lack of knowledge. I think we all feel like, just like I was referring to when it comes to like, I need to be an expert in this if I'm going to run a business. And the truth is, you don't. You need to know 95% more than everybody else, right? So when you feel like I didn't ever, and I still don't consider myself an expert, but I know I'm certain that I've got to a place where I feel like I have a lot to offer, and it's going to help anybody that is interested. If they've hit that same wall, put on their shit kickers and boot it the fuck down. So that's why I chose to go this route. So that lack of knowledge, I really don't want that to stand in anybody's way, because it stood in my way for a really long time until I started to piece this all together. And my coach also put me in front of a few resources that made me realize just how stupid easy this is. It helped me a tremendous amount. So when you really start looking at today's world, as opposed to like if my dad was to start a business in 1982 and he was really exposed to just the community, if he wanted to open a general store here in Calgary, you have a maximum of say 5,000 people that you're kind of exposed to. There's no way that more than that are going to walk through your store in a day. Well, listen, folks, the good news here is that we got the whole fucking world. We literally have the whole world that you can reach on this platform. And again, that leads me into like whichever platform you choose. It doesn't have to be TikTok. It can be YouTube. It can be the gram if you're tighter there or whatever. But I would strongly recommend what he suggested for me is to just take that first step, pick what platform you like, and just launch your fucking rocket. So
You're ruining step 4.
we'll get there. Everybody's on their own path here, right? Some of us have hit that spot where we have 1,000 followers, and some people probably like TikTok might be their secondary or third platform of choice, right? So the third pain point, Scott, do I have time to keep going here, or do you want to just cut me off?
But you're running out of time.
Okay, I'll rip through these quick. A lot of people struggle too with like you find something you like, but you don't necessarily know how to monetize that using social media. So or any free platform, really. I find this is another one that I overthought the shit out of as well. It's really not that difficult. There's so many different ways to monetize. Again, it's very circumstantial depending on what you choose to do. But if this is a step, Scott's going to put me on the clock here really quick. But if it's a step that you struggle with, like I'm putting together a program, but at the same time, until I launch that, my DMs are wide open. And if this is something that I can help you figure out, like I'm truly dedicated and more than happy to help if you have any questions. But building engaging an online community is a huge pain point for a lot of people. And we were talking about this right when we walked in here, Scott, that like the community is incredible, because a lot of areas that I struggle in, my questions naturally get answered when we do a live. I feel like I get a question answered every single day. So and not just on these lives, but like your community, Mike's community, I get into a lot of these, and the value there is I do it over going on YouTube and searching videos any day of the fucking week. So a community is huge. The fifth pain point, and the last one I'm going to talk about, is just technical and operational challenges. So I can speak to this because I am a coal miner. I've been a blue collar worker my whole life. If you find an IT guy, he's here. I'm on the other side of the fucking world. Like, I truthfully don't know how else to explain it other than like I still type like this. So the savior for me is, again, just the resources that are available in today's world. It's fucking wild. You really don't have to be a technical expert. We overthink that too, and you, for some reason, I came into this with an expectation or a misconception that I had to be here, and I was here and never going to get here. With some courses that I've taken and some coaching that I've kind of experienced, I know, like I'm confident enough that I can and will do this. So that's it that I want to get into. And again, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to help and dig a little bit deeper if you feel like it's worth your time. But I'm going to leave it and pass it back to Scott.
Okay, man, that's great. Thank you. Like, I think just to piggyback on what Ashby's already said, he's already helped out a few people within the community already. So I'm sure they can speak for how much he can help a person out just by listening and having a conversation with him. So if anyone's getting hung up, just reach out to Ashby, myself, whoever, but just ask for help. Don't let yourself get stuck in not moving forward because you're not sure what to do. There's lots of people to reach out to. So I'm just going to quick rip back in the comments real quick. I don't think we had a ton. They were listening, hanging on every word. Blue Castle says he's an overthinker too. You're not alone. You learn by doing. I agree, Britt. Online business, global business. This is where it's at. From Sarah, not to be confused with Sierra. Same came from a medical background and working with my hands. This is such valuable info and insight, Ashby, from Heather.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I hope I didn't lose y'all there, boring the shit out of you. So
no, but I'm going to speed it up a little bit here. So when you're looking to select a niche, if you're not going to pick up the phone or DM Ashby real quick, just start dumping onto a piece of paper. Find your, just dump onto a piece of paper a list of your interests, what you're passionate about, what skills you may have. And kind of a hack that was shared with us over the last month was go into all your social media accounts, go into YouTube, go into TikTok, go into Facebook, wherever you spend time, look at your search history. That's probably going to tell you a lot about where you spend your time and where you spend your attention. And that can give you an idea of where you want to go. So once you get that list on the piece of paper, put a star beside the top 3 that you're interested in, and then circle one of those top 3. Don't overthink it. That's where people spend way too much time. So if we're talking about 1 month, getting this done in 1 month, it's not going to happen if you sit there and spin your wheels on selecting a niche. Yeah, go ahead, Ashby.
Sorry, buddy. I was just going to say one thing that I totally skipped over, but a huge piece of this is like I looked at it like once I choose this idea, I'm married to it for the rest of my life. So no, I honestly couldn't have been more wrong. I think it's like you say, just to get the wheels turning. And who knows if you pick something that you're truly passionate about that also has room to grow and evolve, that's naturally going to happen, right? So sorry to cut you off, Scott. I just wanted to share like it doesn't have to be something that you're welded to for the rest of your life.
No, I agree with you. One of the first conversations you and I ever had on the phone was, hey man, I'm just selecting whatever moving forward, and then I know I could pivot down the road. But I want to go through the reps and understand, get my hands on it, touch it, feel it, understand how it works so that I can do it time and time and time again. Like that's the thing about what we're talking about here today. You can do it over and over and over again. You can replicate it. So,
yeah.
Okay. Heather loves the fact that you raised your hand like you were in class there, Ashby. So keep it up. Okay, second thing, we got to keep moving here because we're almost halfway through the live cast here, but determine what problem you solve. Might be the most important part of the whole process. If you don't define what the problem is that you're solving, the rest of it becomes pretty irrelevant. So this is one thing that everyone's heard us talk about Mike at this point, but Mike will drill into your head over and over and over again. If you come in and you say like you want to start a business, okay, what problem is it that you solve? And for the purist with Mike, these two might be the same. And another question he's going to ask you is, is your niche a person or is it the problem you solve? And inevitably, most people that have never been exposed to Mike will always say it's a person or a group of people, but your niche is actually the problem you solve. So once you do the niche brainstorming session, then you need to determine what the problem is that you want to solve.
See, this is huge. And I actually love when Mike asks this question because he's like, no, he goes off on a fucking rant, right? Like your niche doesn't have to be like, or your target audience doesn't have to be, Kathy who has 3 cats and lives in Wisconsin and like drives a Ford Taurus. Like, don't fucking get into all of that. It's a problem, and who has that problem and wants to solve it. That huge.
Exactly. And a lot of us in here, a lot of us have come through the roadmap, right? And that was one thing that just was a light bulb moment for me once I started paying attention to Mike, is I had no idea I needed to even think about this. Like that's one thing I never really picked up before seeing Mike and running into Mike and starting to follow Mike, is this is the differentiator with everyone in the MRR world right now, is what is the problem you're trying to solve? If you can define that, you're going to be able to stand out from the rest of the market, right?
Yes.
Like right now, that's all you ever hear in the MRR space is the content I'm creating seems so much like everyone else's. Okay, spend some time in number 2. Spend some time in number 2, and then spend equal amount of time at number 3, which is mastering your message. So once you figure out what that problem is that you're trying to solve, then you need to master your message, which does not, in fact, it should not be complicated. Keep it as simple as possible. For example, my message is I help business owners, entrepreneurs, and creators go live to drive more traffic and collect more leads. That's it.
Again, man, we all just keep it simple.
Yeah.
We,
It,
I think anybody that you're speaking to, we're all guilty of it. We overthink the living shit out of this.
exactly. Another thing too here, guys, like I hope everyone here is paying attention with a pen and paper, because where I got this idea from today, when I was sitting here and I'm like, I'm just going to engage the community and see what topic they want tonight, and everyone chose this. This is me, but it's been less than a month. It's been like 2 weeks since I've actually been working on this.
It's
Like, not
fucking
even
wild. It's nuts. When I think about it, it's fucking crazy.
It is fucking wild. And this is what I'm talking about. At the beginning of this live cast, you and I started talking about how excited I'm getting, because when we start talking about traffic sources and stuff like that, like every day I come on here, what am I doing right now? I am creating all my content that I'm going to distribute tomorrow and potentially longer. Like, think about you guys. A lot of people talked about the energy I was bringing tonight. That's because I know that this is going to hit. I know it's going to hit, because even though we all know these steps, like it's a topic that people are going to get excited about as soon as they see it. And you guys can do the exact same thing. All you got to do is get excited, start a community, follow these steps, and let your community drive the content, drive the conversation, take it forward. And like, I'm telling you, I'm at this point where my energy is shooting up because I see all the excitement. And it's like, you know, when you climb a mountain or a hill and you start seeing further and further and further, and you see just how beautiful it is, because you've been climbing the mountain and you've been kind of caught in the mountain, the trees and everything, but you come over the top and now you can see how beautiful it is. That's kind of where I'm feeling right now. So I hope everyone is paying attention and you start doing some of this stuff, because if you're not doing it yet, oh man, you guys are missing out. Okay, rant over.
I love it, man. You are fired up. I don't know if I've ever seen you this fired up, but like, you fucking should be. I mean, in 2 weeks, you have just, like, it is infectious. And like, I come from a little bit of a different world, and you know this, Scott. Like, I have kids, and life is fairly hectic, and I'm not trying to say I got it worse than you or anything like that, but I'm doing the best with the time that I have, and I'm gonna be a week or two behind you, but I'm just as fired up, you know?
We're all going together. It's just a matter of how far do you want to go. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Just like Microgreens Mike. Let's go.
Let's go, Mike.
Real quick before I carry on, because I don't want to lose this energy, but it's nuts and amazing to see how possible it is from Heather. Yeah, let's go, girl.
Let's go, Heather.
Work. Thank you, Jenna. Yeah, and I'm going to take a moment here for Jenna, because Jenna is the reason I'm headed in this direction. She's the one that offered the idea, and I'll be forever grateful for her for that. And she helps out.
She has great insight from an outsider. Like, Jenna, you put in work for everybody in this community, and I see you. I appreciate you.
Okay, the module works. You just have to believe you're able to make it work. Model works, yeah. You got a glimpse of the view. That's right, I did. Ashby and Scott, you have progressed so far since I've been watching you both. And you know what, Britt? It's only been like just over a week. That's it. Yeah. Like, when I started uploading all the replays to YouTube, and I'm like, we only have 8 or 9 replays. So we've only been doing this 8 or 9 days. It feels so much longer.
Oh man, but it's because of this group right here. And I appreciate you saying that, Britt. Thank you very much.
Okay, we got to move forward, because we're halfway through. We're more than halfway through with our time, but we're not halfway through here yet. So the next thing you want to do after you've mastered your message is you need to select a product to promote. And I phrased this exactly that way for a reason. You do not necessarily need to create your own product. You can absolutely promote another product that others created. Thanks, Christian. So Do not, if you're in the headspace that you're not prepared to create a product, even though we talk a lot about that here, you don't need to. You can go out, you can find the right products to promote as long as it's going to serve your niche. The big thing here, the most important part of this part of the puzzle is make sure it's going to add value to your audience or to your customers. Do not try to force feed a product to your audience because you're just trying to make money. You do that, you're going to lose it all fast. So make sure whatever it is, we go back to number 2 and it effectively solves the problem that you're promising you're going to offer a solution to. If it does not, then go back to the drawing board and find something else, whether it be someone else's product or, as we talk about here, because I'm a firm believer in it, find that solution, work with your audience to create the best possible value-driven solution for their problem. Yes, sir.
So I was just gonna say you chose your words very carefully, but if you could have put product/service, I think that might have been better.
Fair enough. I will make that adjustment, sir.
Thank you, bud. Yeah, no, I think for me, I'm going to come at it from a product and service standpoint, and I think you probably are too. I think a lot of us have learned just how to do that. And also, all I wanted to add, because I feel like that was bang on. As I was creating my product, I feel like that's where I went from maybe 40 or 50% confident in what I was doing to just through the roof. In the product creation process, I learned so much about myself. I felt more confident in my technical skills. I felt more confident in lining up Zoom calls and talking to people and walking them through the process. So I feel like number 4, there's a lot of value there if you truly go through it and put in the work.
100%. I agree. You're still cracking people up with your hands up, but keep doing it because it seems to be engaging the audience. Hey, Pia, this is a good time to take a quick time out and say we're only at 7.8 thousand, so let's start smashing that screen. If you guys are getting anything from this tonight, can you guys please support us just by hitting that like? Let's get it up as fast as we can and hopefully get some others noticing what we're doing here. Okay, let's move in. So Ashby totally stole this one from me already, but number 5 is choose a traffic source. And honestly, Ashby did a perfect job just saying exactly what I wanted to say here is do not spread yourself too thin. We started tonight talking about how I'm exploring YouTube. Don't do that if you're just starting. Master, and I'm not even going to say master. I apologize. I take that back. You do not need to master a traffic source. What you need to do is you need to dial in your message on a single platform so that then it becomes easier to scale. That is probably the best way to say that.
I couldn't have said it any better. That's it right there.
It's all about the message and then get into a traffic source to test your product, your message, everything. But different audiences exist on different platforms. So if you get really good at your message on one platform, take it to the next. See if it tests well. But then you've got your systems in place working well on the one traffic source. You're getting sales, so you have revenue coming in. You have a lot more flexibility to move into other marketplaces, okay? So just do not spread yourself so thin that you're not getting anywhere, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. That's big. And that's all I was trying to touch on. You're just way better with your words.
Just God working through me, hey?
No, I think branching out is absolutely necessary if you want to grow and scale for sure. I just for me it's just kind of baby steps and again, I don't want to say master, but really getting super comfortable with where I'm at before I can really kind of replicate it.
Yeah, exactly. Microgreens Mike is a sub now. Thanks, man. I appreciate the support.
Oh man, Microgreens, Mike, you're a dog, man. And this is like also a prime example of how you can take this from making money online to cucumber farming to microgreens, Mike. Like, honestly, the possibilities are endless.
You know what? Actually, we got to get Microgreens Mike on here as a guest
I
because
would love to, man.
he's got a great story. He's only told me bits and pieces so far because we haven't had time to dive into it. But he's got a great story about overcoming COVID and some personal challenges during that time, and now
Sure.
doing so great. So I'd love to get him.
Man, let's be in the DMs, Mike, and talk about that because I feel like I'd love to pick your brain for a bit too, man. You could teach us a lot too.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's keep moving. We're at 540 almost, and we're not even at 10K yet. I know the people in this room can get us to 10K before I look up again. I know they can. I know they can. Okay, so you've selected your traffic source. Let's say it's TikTok. We're moving in to create content. So now you've got to start getting that message out there. You've determined where you're going to go, what the proper traffic or platform is based on where you're comfortable. Is it video? Is it audio? Is it pictures? Is it written? Whatever. You've selected that traffic source. Now you got to start creating content. And this is probably where a lot of people start feeling extremely intimidated, especially if you decide to go video format, especially if you've never created video before. So I'll quickly share my story that the reason why I'm confident in front of the camera is not because I've spent a lot of time in front of the camera. I've just been able in a really short amount of time to be able to transition my skills because I've constantly, like for the last 15 years, I've spoken in front of crowds anywhere from 15 to 500 people. And it's a transferable skill. It's a skill. It's not a talent, it's a skill. So anyone can learn it, okay? But if you're going the way of video, in my opinion, and take that for what it's worth, it's the easiest way to build rapport with people because they feel like they're sitting in front of you. They feel like you're talking to them, especially if you start to learn some of the tricks of how to connect with people on camera. Like just look at the room we're here. We don't see you guys. Like I think we do a pretty good job of feeling like we're in front of you guys and connecting with you guys and getting you guys engaged. But video is absolutely the most powerful mechanism to connect with your audience, in my opinion. Now, if we transition even further and say live video, it's even better. And that's my personal opinion because I feel like my personality and my energy comes out better live than it does on a recorded video post.
But I'm glad you left me with nothing to say here because I think you got it all covered. I honestly couldn't agree more. And we talk about it all the time, and I feel like I'm just beating it to death. But just that getting those reps in, and actually Christian's hitting us with some love. And I jumped on a live that he was doing yesterday. He's big in the contracting business. Fuck me, is that guy just like next level, man? Christian, I respect the hell out of you for what you're doing, man. Shit,
You want to
I
speak about
couldn't believe it.
energy, right? High
Oh
energy.
man, deadly. Keep on hustling, man.
I totally agree with Scott. That's from Heather. Yay, it's Ian. Ian's in the house.
Ian's in the building.
Live video is the best, according to Microgreens Mike. He's all over the place. Absolutely. 89% of consumers said the reason they made a purchase from a brand was video. That comes from Sarah, not to be confused with Sierra. Christian saying he appreciates the love. Okay, let's keep
man,
moving.
Christian, you're a dog, man.
Let's keep moving. We're almost down to the last quarter. We're almost at 10K. Keep smashing those likes. Smash Ashby's face. Okay, so we've started creating content. We're not going to get into super deep details here. So yeah, we'll keep moving forward. Launch. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because I feel like launch is so big it probably deserves its own topic one of these nights.
I like the rocket.
What's that?
I like the rocket.
Yep.
Yeah.
So launch is just taking whatever your idea is. So if we go back up to product to promote, if you've created that product, or even if you've selected someone else's product, you need to have a bit of a strategy on how you're going to launch that. Okay. So, like I said, this is such a big topic. And honestly, I think one of the best people to talk about this may be Jenna, to put her on the spot. Maybe we can get her to put something together, help us maybe talk about that a little bit deeper one of these days. But we've started creating our content to support a launch. Once we get into launch phase, so we've got a product on the market that people can purchase from us. We're supporting those customers. We also need to evaluate how we've done and make sure that we improve upon that. So that's kind of the last piece of the puzzle. So we're looking at how things are going. We're understanding our analytics and our, all the mechanisms we have in place to measure performance. And then once we get those learnings from how we are performing, we need to make sure we're improving. Okay. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the lowest end of this, just because we're kind of running out of time, and I want to make sure we leave it open for questions and kind of wrap up. But I'm going to do a selfless or a major self-promotion here. If you guys are kind of liking what we're talking about here today, make sure you go into my link, my bio, hit the link, and join the free community that I've started up here in the last couple of days. But that's kind of the rundown here, and it's very appropriate that we spent 80% of the time talking about this in the first 4 or 5 items, because that's where you should be spending all your time. And then the rest is going to run so much better if you do that. Maybe in the comments below, before I pass it over to you, to Ashby, to maybe add a few comments, is maybe take a look and see, of this list, which of the 8 do you feel least comfortable with? Which one would you like for us to spend more time talking about? Maybe a follow-up live cast about it, or, maybe just tell us below which one you feel least comfortable with. And we've got Putin in the room, hey?
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank God for that. So all I really wanted to touch on, and again, it's something we talk about on a regular basis, Scott, but when we got to 7 and 8, particularly 7, I feel like that's where that perfectionism can really hang a person up if you let it. So this is where I put in your community how I respect the hell out of how you've gone about it, and just really, like, I was going to call you and say, like, are you ready to launch? And you were already launched. Like, you just don't overthink this. You don't get stuck in that. But and yes, that comes easy for you, but I'm also not that guy. Like, I find that launch can be a very intimidating spot where you hold up and you're reevaluating, like, is this perfect? It doesn't need to be perfect. We can evaluate. That's why 8 exists, right? Because we can go through and make those changes when we're already functioning. And that's how we're going to learn, right? We're going to get some feedback from potential clients and customers that are truly going to share their experience, right? So
and just look at what I did tonight, right? Like, you guys might not be paying customers, but you're customers. You're my audience. So I asked in my community, so I've started funneling people to the community, because that's a feedback loop. So in the community, what do you guys want to learn about tonight? What do you want us to talk about? Boom, here you go. What did I do after that? Again, like, to your point, Ashby, to your point, like, I didn't do anything more than go to ChatGPT and say, this is what I want to talk about. Here's some of the points I think I need to hit on. Help me fill in the rest. And we've just created a conversation that hopefully, maybe just here, real quick, we got 3 minutes to go. I put the poll up here for you guys to vote on which one you guys are looking for more information on. But in the comments below, happy face, did you get something from this? Or thumbs up, did you get something from this? Or thumbs down, it really didn't give you anything more. You're not really feeling what we talked about here. So we've got thumbs up, we've got smiley faces. All I did, guys, all I did with this new business that I launched less than 2 weeks ago, all I did to support the conversation today, build rapport with you guys, offer value to you, is I went to ChatGPT and I spent some time with it trying to find as much value as I could bring here tonight. That's
The
it.
fucking wizard, man. The wizard is incredible. It really is incredible.
That's it. And then I showed up. That's it. That's all I
Showing
did.
up is half the battle. Like on when it comes to every single 1 through 8, just keep showing up and outlast everybody else that is trying to do what you're doing, because it is a fact, and I don't care where you want to find it on the internet, the vast majority of people that are trying to do what you're going to do, you're going to be walking over their lifeless body and keep on marching. That's the God honest truth. Consistency, we all beat it to death, and it needs to be beaten to death. Consistency and keep showing up, and I swear to God, more than half the battle is just outlasting your competition.
That's it. It's just that's one of the reasons why I've been successful in my day job is I'm willing to do what others won't. And a lot of it is not hard. It's just anyone will run 100 meters and they're not going to do it well necessarily, but very few are willing to run a marathon.
That's the truth. Like, and it's, again, simple. Just simplifying things instead of overthinking the living shit out of it. Like,
that's it. Exactly. So again, I hope you guys will join me over in the free community. The link is in my bio.
Get in there.
But honestly,
you'll
guys,
find me there. You'll see my face there.
Exactly. Yeah. And he's not even wearing a lake hat in his photo, but we'll get it.
Actually, I could bust it out right now if you want. We only got a few minutes. I'll save it for tomorrow or something.
Yeah, let me just rip back through the comments here so we can kind of play catch up here. I don't apologize for tonight because this was just a different style. Like normally we spend a little bit more time in the comments and talk to people, but I'd like to think that people got a lot out of this. So we're getting 3, 3, 3, 3, and 6. So 3 is master your message. Yep, that's usually pretty standard for Mike's lives too. So master your message, getting a message that converts better, get some, but still working on it. That's from Mike. I also have many ideas and don't know what one to focus on. Honestly, Courtney, if I can say one thing, it's just pick one and move forward and just see it through to the finish line. And hopefully you feel good when you get there. If not, you can go back, but you've got all the pieces then. You've already gone through it once.
For sure. And like, I also just want to touch on this. Give me 1 minute here, Scott. This, how to start a business in 1 month from idea to implementation. I thought 30 days was a fucking stretch. I thought really like, even going back 4 or 5 months to, September-ish of last year, I would have told you you're crazy if you think you can do this in 30 days. And this guy sitting right here just did it in the last 2 weeks, and I am going to hit the 30-day mark, a little bit below. But not only is it possible, it's possible, and it's not even sloppy. If it had to be sloppy, I'd still fucking do it. But you can do a tight job and have a beautiful business in less than that. So like, this was a great topic. I really enjoyed this one. I love getting all the engagement, and I love how people are fired up about like everything we talked about today. I think this was a fun one for a Saturday. Now go 100%. Have a drink and just get fucking sloppy.
Are you calling me out, Ashby? That's from Heather. I selected number 6.
No, I wasn't trying to.
I'm having the same issue, Courtney. I keep going back and forth. Like, honestly, guys, like, I'm not a tough love guy. Like, I just say it the way it is. And, I'm not going to get in your face, kind of like how Mike does it with some people. But, like, just pick one. Just move forward. Like, just pick one, move forward. And the only reason I'm saying it like this is because I was doing the same thing. And it wasn't until I started just doing some things and then Jenna reaching out to me and saying, hey, like, I really think this is an avenue you should explore. After that, it's just been downhill and just And downhill, I mean like momentum's on my side, not a bad thing. It's just been full scale running forward. So Mark
Yeah,
said,
and see, oh,
oh,
sorry,
sorry.
go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I was just gonna say, like, the avenue that I'm pursuing right now in helping people, starting at number one there, not something that I thought I was that passionate about until I truthfully just went through that experience. And thankfully, with the help of Mike, like that guy, again, I just encourage you to find somebody that you truly resonate with, because obviously he's been that for me. And he just has a way of allowing me to take this great big fucking mountain and turn it into a molehill that I can truly, like, I can climb that shit in a couple of days. And that, when that light bulb went off for me, like, I'm actually a little bit surprised that a lot of people are hung up on number three, because I feel like it's actually easier than you probably think. But um, when I found that guy that like I truly like, this is my dude, and I know I can learn a lot from this guy. And I'm just trying to get at the fact that you don't have to be married to this. Like, it is a jump off point. It is going to allow you to experience business and true experience. Like, from there, who knows where you might want to take this thing, right? But if you have something that you feel good about, that you feel like there's a little bit of growth there, and you're just planting the seed, and where it goes is, honestly, I think it's going to surprise all of us. And
Mark says he's lost. So Mark, maybe shoot one of us a message afterwards and just let us know where you're feeling lost with. Where's the happy sad poll? Sorry, Jenna, the happy sad poll couldn't run at the same time as the other poll. So that's why I didn't put the happy sad poll. I totally agree. Agreed. Sorry, guys. Comments were all jamming up. Path of least resistance, paralysis of analysis. Yep.
yeah, man, analysis paralysis is a thing, and it's a thing that I was sitting on for a long time, man.
To show up consistently and still provide value, a game plan is needed, and a mentor can help with that. Completely agree. Ha ha ha, Scott, I'll be there. That's from Sarah, not to be confused with Sierra. LOL. Hi. Hi, Art by Malhotra. Sorry, we probably missed you. This is my favorite live so far. Great info, guys. Thanks, Mel. I
Nice.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
thanks, Val.
We're honestly just trying to understand what you guys want from these sessions, so I'm glad you got a lot out of this. I went through a sponge phase, but it's not truly needed if you just get going. That's from the one, the only Ian.
Ian,
Um,
those Leafs are playing tonight, Ian. I think that game's probably underway right now.
Courtney says I did, then got sidetracked. So that's the trick, is like, how do you stay focused? And you know what, like Courtney, that's probably a good opportunity to reach out to someone within the community and just have like an accountability partner that just keeps you on target.
Yes, and I would agree with that 100%. Like, I was that, Courtney, like that was 100% me. And my coach right now is just, he refers to himself as a rudder. So when I start kind of going one way or the other, he just keeps me straight and narrow. 1-0 Leafs. Shit.
1-1 after one. Okay, we're down to the
Okay.
last 3 minutes. So just a couple of housekeeping things before we let you guys carry on. And again, I can't state enough, and I know we do this every time we come on here with you guys, but I can't overstate how much we appreciate you guys showing up every night for this. Like, that's probably what keeps me motivated and keeps me energized going and talking to ChatGPT. As simple as I just outlined it, it does still take time, but man, I don't mind doing it because you guys are showing up. You guys are enjoying this stuff. So we're going to keep doing it as long as you guys keep showing up. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This has been something I didn't know. I never knew I always wanted. So thank you. Ashby, go.
Yes, so I just want to second that, man. You guys are rock solid, every single one of you that keep showing up for this. I want to go back to, like, just launching and putting yourself out there at 70%, because what you're looking at is living proof of that. Scott and I had a conversation one day about like, hey, why don't we try doing a live, kind of like a podcast, where we can really interact with people and we can really try to offer some value, and we can also get a lot from it too. So we jumped out at 70%, and it doesn't need to be perfect. Every one of you guys that keep showing up, I can't stress how much I appreciate it. I want to pound it. Y'all are deadly. Honest to God, I don't even know what else to say. I appreciate everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Ashby. Okay, so last order of business before we let you guys go. Just a reminder, tomorrow we will be going live at 5 again. As of Monday, we're switching from 5 to 6. Yep. You got tomorrow?
Last one. I know it says Super Bowl Sunday tomorrow, so I was just going to double check. Are we doing this thing?
We're doing it. We're doing it.
Okay.
And I'm a KC guy for 30 years, so if I can show up, I know others can show up.
I'll be right fucking here, bro. If you're coming, I'm a Bears fan, so like my dream ended a little while ago here this season, but like, okay, no, if you're here, I'm here.
Well, seriously, Ashby, how can we sit here and tell them how much we love it that they show up for us every night, and then we say, football's
Super
on.
Bowls. Yeah, no, you're right. Like I probably shouldn't even raise my hand. I'm bringing it back down, and it won't happen again. Carry the fuck on.
That's right. We're gonna show up for you guys tomorrow. You don't have to show up, but we'd love to come and hang out with us, because we're probably doing personal branding part 2, and it's gonna be a good one.
Let's do that, man. I'm ready to dig deeper there too. Like, this is wicked.
Heather says, I keep waiting for you to ask to use the washroom each time you raise your hand, Ashby.
Well, now you know what? I'm going to go pee in
potty?
1 minute here.
Okay. All right, guys. You guys go have a great evening. Enjoy the time with your family. Enjoy spending time doing whatever you want to do, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
See you, Ashby.
Ciao, buddy.